Participants. From Morlock Farm, this is our YEG. This year's MS virtual. You can go the distance and make a difference. All you have to do is register today, and you can find from wherever you are. The need for and ambulance services continue to keep our national flex supplies safe. Oh my goodness. So I'm seeing Robert's iPhone, and I was just kind of freaking out because that's my brother. So I thought, don't tell me I phoned my brother and put him on this Zoom call. That would be a bad thing.
No, that's me, Margaret.
Good thing, Margaret. Good to see you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, my.
Hello, everybody. How are we all today? Give me a thumbs up. Hi, Frida. And there's my Claire. Oh, okay, cool. Hi, Vanessa. Maura, Melissa, awesome. I'm so excited. I'm sitting at my new table. So this year I didn't take the $500,000 ring. I took money instead, and I didn't get the money yet, but I already bought the table. Because I've been using a table that's 35 years old. It was a hand-me-down from my parents. And usually what I do when I get some fun money for bonuses is I use it to spoil my family for vacations, but we can't really go anywhere right now. So I'm buying furniture, so I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go get my headset, just one sec. I was told this will make it sound better, so we're going to do that. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to get on here, and then we're going to have an awesome time talking about doing appointments. Because I have a feeling there's a few of you on here that are a little afraid of it, right?
Yeah.
A couple, maybe? And I just want to go through some things with you on that. Okay, really, all the tangles have to be here. Getting me up close and personal. Can you hear me better that way? Is it better? Okay, awesome. All right. I'm hoping one of my friends is on here and can write down all who's on here. I don't see them yet. Oh, Carol's on. And she's recording. Okay. Hopefully she will do this for me. All right. So it's a new year. It's exciting. If I could get you ladies to just mute off, because I hear a little bit of background noise. And then there's going to be time for some talking later. So tonight, like I mentioned, I want to talk to you about virtual parties, about virtual one-on-ones, or Zoom or online, and I want to talk to you about foundation matching over Zoom, because that's something that I've been doing a little more of. And it's probably something that you want some tips on. Okay, sorry. There we go. I'm really in the light. All right. So I don't have you on my computer, so I can only see one screen at a time. So in the comments, I want you to tell me who is consistently doing virtual parties at this time. In the comments. Vanessa is, and Karen is. Anybody else? No? Okay. So we just have, and Raven is. Okay, good, Raven. That's awesome. All right. So what are virtual parties? Parties that you do over Zoom or Facebook Messenger, anything like that. Anything that's not face-to-face. And guys, right now we're supposed to continue to do the not face-to-face. Linda Rose has asked us not to do that yet, so we're not going to do that. So we have to, any of the appointments that we do have to be done over Zoom. And quite honestly, I'm going to be really open and transparent here. I actually prefer these now almost, because these are the reasons. Yeah, this is Vanessa too. Is because first of all, they're quicker. Second of all, you're in your own house. Third of all, a lot of the parties I actually like, especially to get ready for bed or the masking ones, I do them with them. So my skin's been fantastic because I've been doing them more often, all the things. I find that people are way more receptive now. Exactly. No more packing up the car. No more like dealing with, trains stopping you and you're late. No more waiting for people to get there so you can start, like all the things. Now, are you still going to get your postponements and stuff? Yes. Are you still going to get people that have to cancel? Yes. Like, come on. We live in a world where we've got some socially distancing things happening, but we're not complete. Oh, someone's not muted. And so, yeah, I really like them.
Mute yourself.
Because it's just something that really helps us to still be effective. Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm very easily distracted, as you know. All right, so what do? You can do them in many ways. Some people do these parties without, yeah, that was Raven. Some people do these parties with product and some people do them without. And I have found a way lately that's been working really, really well. Is at the end of June, I think most of our groups that are on here, we're doing the roll-up bags for like a sample, like you drop off a roll-up bag loaded and let people use it as a trial. So what I've been doing is saying that the hostess gets the roll-up bag loaded that they get to use for the party so that they can see the full size, and I have her actually like showing all the things. And I drop off samples of a lot of the things that we can get to everybody else. Now we've got the travel size sets. Did you guys know that for $1.94 you can mail those? It's only $1.94 if you take them out of the box and mail the trial size sets, or the travel size sets, I guess you can want to call them. You can mail those out for $1.94. So you can mail them out as a trial. And then if they don't like it or don't want to buy it, then you get it back and you just send it back as a return for Mary Kay. Ladies, the reason we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee policy is so that we can build business. And if there's no risk and you can take your product and give it to someone and collect it back later and send it back to the company and they send you something brand new in return, there's no harm in that. I'm finding that I'm doing a lot of customer direct ship orders for my products, but I'm loving having inventory because I can use that inventory to give out on demo and on trial. All right, so there's no harm in that. So get them some products. Now, what products do you want to use? That's totally up to you. If you want to do like the basic class, which is what I do with most people when I first, like if they've never tried Mary Kay, or if they're not my current customer, I do my roll up, and inside I have the Skin Sonic brush. I don't give that out. That one I just have for me, and this one because this is the one I use for my demo. I have a travel size, or sorry, a full size Miracle set. I have the charcoal mask and the moisture renewing gel mask, and I have a satin hands and satin lips. I've been sticking Fanorama mascara in because I'm in love. Like you guys maybe saw my post, but I actually fell in love with something other than Chad, and fell in love with this mascara. So I've been sticking one in, and I will actually tell the hostess, you get to keep that when she has her party with 3 or more people. Okay. I have also been sticking in the silicone masking brush. And so with the hostess, I'm gonna mute some people off here. With the hostess, I drop off the bag and I ask her to, in the party that we're doing, whether it be on Zoom or whether it be Facebook Messenger, or whatever you're doing, I ask her to show the full size things, right? Because it makes her feel more of a participant. It shows people how big things actually are. And it's just an incentive for someone else to be a hostess because they want to have a bag like this show up at their house. Now they understand when I drop it off that this bag isn't for them to keep. If they get a full-size bag, they get to try the products that are in it, use the products that are in it. Anything you want to keep, take out of it and give me what you don't want back. So if you want the bag, keep the bag. Give me everything else back in a plastic bag, whatever. Any of the products that you love in there that you want to keep them, and then just give me back anything you don't want to keep. All right. And so it's a way, once they get this in their home, they don't want to give it back, especially when they try it on their skin and it's fantastic. They don't want to give it back. So my sales have been like I had my best month ever in sales in June. And it's because they've got the stuff right there. Okay. One of the other things I do stick in there as well is I stick one of our disposable face cloths in so we can do the charcoal face print, you know, the print on after they're taking the charcoal mask on, they make a face print. I do that because they love it. And the compares. I had one lady, she showed me a picture, she actually framed hers. She put it in a frame, really? Abstract art? I don't know. So, you know, they really like that. So just adding those little fun things. I really like to also do it with them. There's nothing wrong with that. I would never do that at a party. Like I would never go to someone's house and do this appointment with them. But when I'm up, and most of my parties that I do, I'm in my bathroom. Got my little stool, got my little light, and I've got the sink right there. And I put my little hairband on and hold my hair back so that everybody knows they can pull it all back. And I actually do the party with them. And that way you don't have to do a lot of describing. You're like, okay, use your cleanser, right? And they're watching you, so they know what to do. I had one of my consultants Monday night, give me a tip that is fantastic, and I want to share it with you because it's so good. She was telling me that when she first got the Miracle Set, because she bought a starter kit, and so it was before COVID hit, so she had like the full-size Miracle Set in there. She said she got the Miracle Set, she started using it, and she found that she kept overusing it. You know when you use too much moisturizer because you're not used to it? So she said, you know what I did to get myself trained as to how much I should use? And I said, no, what did you do? She said, I bought a trial size set. And because it's really little and I want to preserve it, I don't use as much on my face. And it taught me how much to use. And I'm like, brilliant, right? Little mini, just like when you're trying to lose weight and you use a little plate instead of a big plate, same thing, right? And so I thought, isn't that a fantastic idea? So using the trial size set with your customers, giving them that beforehand, can turn into them buying the bigger set later, but it's also in the meantime training them how much product to use. So thank you, Courtney, for that. I was like, you never stop learning in this business. You just never stop learning. As far as specifically, what do you do for your parties? I do it like a normal party, except a little lower key. Okay. What I try to do is I try and pretend that we're just girlfriends having a chat. Like, you know, sometimes you're talking to your girlfriend or your sister and you're doing your things and you're getting ready. Sometimes I just pretend I'm getting ready with my girlfriends. I'm like, oh yeah, so this is our, you know, okay, so take out your cleanser and just take about this much. And I show them, okay, you got to wet your fingers, put it around, and okay, put this all around your face, like all of that. I do it all there. Oh, guys, I also have eye makeup remover in this bag as well. Don't forget the eye makeup remover. That never comes back, by the way. And I just go and I show them. And so what I would encourage you to do is when you're doing your appointments, do the products that you love the most. because you're going to talk about them in a different way, right? It just comes out of you. It oozes out of every pore. When I talk about like my Panorama mascara, there's no doubt that people know that I am in love with something that's not a person. And it's like they want to buy it because they know that you like it. So you just basically go through all the products like you would. I'm going to be honest, when I do my appointments too, I do have my flip chart handy. I use the Kristen Sharp flip chart. Well, we've modified ours. It says Future Clutch National Area Skincare Product modified. So I actually have that out because sometimes there is specifics about certain products that you want to be able to talk about. So I have that handy so that if there's questions that come up, I can access my flip chart. Also, sometimes I get nervous, and this has always been my security blankie. I started using the flip chart in the olden days when we had the original ones, and I got so used to having something in my hands that it's like my blankie. And so I like having it close. So if I do get nervous, or if someone asks me something that rattles me, or if we're having technology issues, or if someone's got really screamy kids and like it's kind of throwing you off, my blankie's here so that I can use it when I need it. Okay, so I have that handy. So I go through and I do all the products with them. I have, on average, how long do they run? Oh, Vanessa, that's a good question. Generally 40 minutes, 45 maybe. Depends. If it's like a group of girls and they're just having fun, sometimes it's longer. Sometimes, sometimes there's technology issue and grandma doesn't know how to get on Zoom, so you don't start till 10 after, like there's all those things, right? Sometimes it's people I know, so we end up visiting and, oh yeah, it's been 30 minutes, we gotta take off our charcoal mask. Like it all depends, right? And I just go through the products and I do them, and then I have a special. And you can do whatever sort of special you want. So the one that I was using a lot was this one. And it's great offers for you girls. You'll love this. And then I also put it in I'll send it to them, text them and stuff like that. So it's the first option is a travel size miracle set with the multi-masking kit. So that's moisture renewing gel mask, charcoal mask, and the silicone brush. A microdermabrasion plus set equals satin lip set free. So it's $149 for all of that. They get the satin lips free, and it's a bit of a discount on top of that. Okay. Or they can do the full size miracle set, multi-masking kit, micro. Again, they get the satin lips free, and it's $249. So it's a value of $318 they get for $249. Now I've been switching things around because now I've been using this bag. Like I love having these roll-up bags because people love them. And I've only had one come back. Everyone's like, I can't give you this back. I'm like, I know. So I've been loving giving these bags out because they're so nice. And again, it's guaranteed. So if they give them back, then I just return it. And everybody's happy. Okay. So any questions about the actual party? Yes, I still do giveaways. Like whoever has the charcoal mask print, whoever has the best one. Now the best changes from group to group. So sometimes it's like the one who looks like most like a chimpanzee gets prize, or the one who, has, the best print or whatever. I also give a prize for whoever has the grossest lips. So I do it just like I do my parties. So they actually have to get up. Yeah, I do virtual. No, I don't do tickets, nor it's the same. I just do, because it's way shorter, right? It's only 40 minutes. So I do the charcoal mask print. I do the gross lips. So they're actually like, look at mine, they get up like super close. We do satin hands if they have it. And so who has got the grossest hands, like, showing stuff like that. And just kind of whatever goes. And then whatever, the grossest cotton pad from their eye makeup remover. Right. So things like that. Now Claire, Raven wants me to clarify. Am I giving everybody a roll-up bag? No, I'm giving the hostess a roll-up bag because the hostess gets one. She can use it. She keeps what she likes and pays for it. And she gives whatever else she doesn't want back. The rest I give samples to. So some of the people don't have samples. They only have samples of what we can get samples of. So they might not have eye makeup remover. They might not have those other things. So, you know, you just kind of got to go with the flow. You guys, the thing I can want to stress the most is you do not have to be perfect. People do not expect perfection right now, right? They are just happy with any sort of effort, because everywhere we go, everything's different right now. Nobody's perfect with anything. You can't even go to Costco without, you know, having to not knowing which cart which one's been cleaned and which one's not. Like, you know, like everything's weird. So you don't have to be perfect. So don't worry about messing up. Just have fun with your girlfriends and do skincare. That's all. That's all you got to do. And then you can make money. And that's fun. It's always fun to make money. So parties are great, but I actually prefer and love doing one-on-ones and two-on-ones. I'm doing one right after this, actually. One girl's in Red Deer and one here's in Saskatoon. Because before I do it, I actually talk to them and find out, like, what do you need? What's your issue? What's your concern? What's going on? Like all of that. And so I can give them specific products for that. I just find it's not as busy. There's not as much trouble with, you know, background noise and all that sort of thing. I give them samples or whatever they need ahead of time. Again, I've been dropping off big roll-up bags to parties or to even one-on-ones. And I just find that I get that connection. Yes, you can get through the numbers better with big parties, but I think the most important thing you can do is connect with those customers. And so I like doing the one-on-one or the two-on-one. You can answer some really good questions. You can go into other products. Just because they don't have samples doesn't mean you don't have to talk about the product. So if someone says to you something about, you said you had eczema, like, what do you use for your eczema? You were mentioning it's really good. And then I'll talk about my Serum C. And because I'm in my bathroom, I'm like, oh yeah, it's right here, right? This is my favorite, and this is why it works, and this is my results. And it's just like talking with your friends. You can be way more pointed with what they need. You can give better recommendations. You can get that trust level built up. And it's just fun. All right. The money for these parties has been better than pre-COVID time for me, which totally goes against what my big fear was when this all hit. We were all shutting down. We all like panicking, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to live in a box because I'm not going to be able to pay my rent, and I'm going to get really wet. It's going to get wet when it rains every day. But the money has totally been there, because when you are making an effort with people, when they can't go to their regular places, when they don't want to stand in line at Sephora and all those places, and when everything's, you know, all of that, they're willing to support you. I know for me personally as well, since COVID hit, I'm way more inclined to shop local and to do small businesses. And this is my new silver icing dress. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot more of that. And so I'm finding that other people are also doing a lot more of that, right? So just get people to just do a party with you. Now, that sounds so easy. So you're probably like, okay, what does that mean, Ange? Like, seriously, I need more specific things than that. If it's people you're meeting through different people, like, I mean, get referrals, do all of that. I guess my main line with people I don't know is, you know, through this time, I've been just practicing my skills with doing virtual parties and virtual appointments. Would you be willing to play with me one night and get ready for bed? And they're like, okay, what does that mean? And I'm like, I'll drop off some samples and then I'll be at my house and you be at yours and we'll go on a call and we'll get ready for bed together. How's that sound? And they're like, okay. And if you have a friend join me, I'll give you blah, right? And it's just simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't use all the words. And so they're like, I don't even know what you're asking me because you're just talking in circles, right? Just be like, do you want to get ready for bed with me? And then I laugh. I don't say that to just everybody, you know. But just, you know, just ask them to do that. I've had a lot of referrals come through in June with our unit doing a big push for TRIP. Myself and my team members were a lot more visible on social media. And when you're visible on social media and you're talking about, 181 more skincare sets and all that, people are like, what is a skincare set? I'm like, can I send you one? Yes, right? Like, it doesn't have to be complicated, people. Because most of the time when people on your social media are asking things, it's people you know through other people, right? And if it's not, just making sure that you're asking the question about, so do you currently use Mary Kay? What's your favorite product? And if they're like, oh, I love this and I love this and I love this. Oh, who do you normally buy from? Oh, so-and-so. I'm like, oh, awesome. Phone her. She'll be so pumped to hear from you. She will totally be pumped to hear from you. I bet you she'll give you some samples. Sometimes it's like, well, I had one, but then we moved and then I can't get a hold of her and blah, blah, blah. And so then it's like, oh, okay. When was the last time you talked to her? All that sort of stuff. But you can gain new customers. I think I gained, without doing many virtual appointments, I gained 28 new customers in June, just through social media posts and 28 more skincare sets and all of that sort of thing. And it was, my family, like people that I went to high school with, saw what I was doing and got on board and came and bought a Voluform set and microdermabrasion and biocellulose masks. Okay, thanks. Haven't seen you in 30 years, but awesome, right? Because people get pretty excited when they see women like boss babes going for it. Some people think it's annoying, others support you. So I choose to spend time with those that support me. And if you're annoyed by me, there's many more people in the world that I don't annoy. So I don't worry about that. And the reason I say that, and it sounds kind of like, I don't know, crass or kind of, is that I have been the type that wants everybody to like me. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I don't, all that stuff, right? That you get in your own head about. And you're never going to have the whole world like you. There's 25, 25, 25, 25 rule. And I've talked about this before, but we got to go over it again, because me concerning myself with people liking me and that I don't annoy them and that I do everything right and I'm so perfect and all this sort of stuff has stopped me from getting the trip for years, and has stopped me from lots of things in my life for years. So 25% of the people meet you and love you and will always love you. 25% of the people meet you and love you now, but probably won't be friends with you long term. 25% of people meet you and don't like you off the start, but learn to love you. And the other 25% don't like you when they meet you, and they're never going to like you. So you're dealing with 75% of the population who either don't like you right now or probably won't soon. And we're trying to please them all? That's exhausting. So now I just figure if they don't like me or they think I'm annoying or they don't want to watch what I'm doing, then they can just unfollow or they can just whatever. Go away. There's lots of other people out in the world, lots of awesome people. So I just choose to focus on the awesome people. Okay. The one-on-ones, like I said, you can go with samples or not. You give them what they need. You offer to drop off or direct ship. I love our direct ship. It's still half price, and that's awesome. And get them their products, and then do great follow-up. There's magic in the follow-up, right? With us doing more virtually and with them trying, I find that people have been more likely to try things, like buy things without trying them. We want to make sure that we're following up to make sure they're loving it. Okay. And if they're not, asking questions like, okay, so one of my customers said the other day, I got the mascara. It was the lash intensity. I got the mascara and it seems really clumpy. And so I said, okay, what does that mean? Does it mean that it goes on clumpy, or it just looks like the brush is kind of clumpy? Because wouldn't you agree, when you take the lash intensity out, it looks like not good, right? And I said, sometimes when it's really full, the bristles look really full, so it looks clumpy, but when you put it on, it goes on really well. So what? And she's like, well, actually kind of both. And I'm like, okay, when you put it on tomorrow, I want you to put it on and then send me a picture if there's a problem. And then there was no picture the next day. So I texted her, I'm like, you didn't send me a picture. Tell me everything's okay. And she said, it is. It was just that my tube's too full. Right? So they don't know what to expect. You're not there walking them through it because we're not doing these face-to-face appointments. So we just have to be really pointed with our questions. And when people tell you that maybe something doesn't feel good or they don't really like it, don't get offended. Okay, I don't know if I'm the only one who's like this, but like people would say like, I don't know about that eye makeup remover it does not work. And I'd be like, oh, rude. That's the best product. How dare she say that to me? Like I would be just so in my own head about it. And I'd be like, really? And she's like, yeah. Do you shake it really hard? Oh, I'm supposed to shake it? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'll try that. Oh, now I like it, right? Like just asking more questions and just to find out why they're not liking something. So follow-up is going to be key. All right. I'm doing some follow-up. I'm behind on my follow-up. I feel like I'm behind on my follow-up because a lot of the people that I ordered for in June have gotten their stuff about a week ago, and I haven't necessarily followed up with everybody. But some of the questions who here feels like I want to do follow-up, but I don't know what to say, right? Like you're like, hi, so it's like Angie, and how are you? How's summer? So about that product you got for me, right? Like, so I just like get right into it. Like, hey, beautiful, how are you? Oh, I'm good, thanks. Cool. So like, how much are you loving your product? And they're like, oh, it's really good. Okay, what do you like best? You know, if it's more than one product. Okay, what isn't like, what are you surprised that you're not really liking? Like, and then if they say, yeah, Crystal's saying they're worried that she won't like something. Okay, I want to go to that. Yeah, if they don't like it, that's okay. They don't have to like everything. That's why we got a big product line. Because if they don't like one thing, there's something else. So if they don't like the lash intensity, then try my new affair panorama. So you can like try something else, right? It's okay. That's why we have a guarantee. And sometimes what would really make me freak out is someone like, so I'm kind of getting a rash. And I'm like, oh, what does a rash mean? Show me, send me a picture. And so they'll send it, and sometimes I know what it means and sometimes I don't. And I'll say, okay, when you put things on, what felt really good and what was like, right? And so sometimes it's just a matter of they want the night cream isn't for them or something like that, but doesn't mean we have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. So just walking through it with them. Okay. A lot of times people will say, I don't like the feeling of, so say the Voluform night cream. It's just so heavy. And I'm like, do you use a full pump? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cut her back, girl. Lasts longer. It's cheaper for you that way. And you probably just have a small face. You don't need that much. And they'll laugh, you know, like, oh, I didn't think of face size. But like our product is really concentrated. So just magic in the follow-up. Any other questions? I totally went on a tangent there. I wasn't supposed to talk about follow-up. I hope I didn't steal anybody's topic from another week, but they'll love me anyway. Okay. I want to talk about foundation matching. Virtual foundation matching. Talk about awesomeness, right? Virtual foundation matching. How do we ever have virtual foundation matching? Guys, I did this a lot in June. And what I loved about virtual foundation matching is that it works. This is how I do it. Now, my girls from my unit on here are like, oh, she's talking about it again. Because I have gone through this lots with them because I love matching foundation. I find it so fun. So first of all, our Time-Wise 3D foundation has color match technology. So basically, you got a backup. You got something that is going to, if you even mess up a little bit, it's still going to work. Okay, so I love it. So if you have a catalog, I want you to open to the foundation page, which is page 29. Okay. So you guys probably already know this, but we're just going to do review because sometimes, you know, this is summer school and I know you guys have been out of school for a while, so you might need a review of last year's lessons. So we're going to talk a little bit about foundation matching, what it means. So when someone says, okay, I would really like a foundation, but I don't like anything too heavy. I don't want to feel it. Like that's why I don't like foundation, because I don't like when it feels heavy. So my first thing is like, well, you came to the right place, because ours doesn't, you don't even feel like you're wearing it. So if you want something light, I'm your girl. I would really like to match everybody to the TimeWise 3D foundations, because once we match them to the TimeWise 3D foundations, then we know all of this. So this is the flawless face conversion chart. If you have not printed, it's going to be backwards, right? You have not printed this off the web, print it off the web. So go under the product tab, conversion charts, and then it's called flawless face conversion chart. It's the bomb. It's got all of it there. So when I'm matching someone to foundation, I start the same way, and it's the way we were taught. Is like, okay, I have some questions to help us pick the perfect thing. So we've got shade and we've got tone, and undertone is like your color. So I need to ask you 3 questions, and you're going to give me an answer of either A, B, or C. Okay. When you go in the sun, what happens? A, you're immediately lobster red, and you stay lobster red until you go back to pasty white. That's A. So most people like that, maybe more of our redhead beauties have that problem, or just really fair people, right? So that's A. B is you go into the sun and you might get pink and have to be a little careful, but it will turn into a tan. And then you can get, some color throughout the summer. That's B. Or C, you think sunny thoughts and you turn 2 shades darker. That's my daughter. She's yeah, beautiful. So A, B, or C. So if they say A, they are a C in our foundations. So what's really cool is if they're like really white and they say they burn easy, you have a choice of Ivory C100 or Ivory C110. Both will probably match. So it's easy. So then I say, if it's someone who's actually, because sometimes people phone me, like I still advertise in the phone book. As a director, we can do that. So I get a lot of older ladies who are like, I just found you in the phone book. I didn't even know like there was such a thing as phone books anymore. I get a lot of, so I have to do foundation matching over the phone. So then I've got, like, you can go to your shelf and you can see you got 2 samples. This is Ivory C100 and Ivory C110. And you'll notice that the C110 is really white, really quite pink. I don't know if that's this one on this side. And the Ivory C100 is just white girl. So you just send her one and then you have her try it. And then she says, it's perfect. And then you do a happy dance. We can get samples of all of our foundations too. So you can send 2 samples in the mail, have her try them both and see which one looks best. Do half on one side, half on the other, and then send her whichever one she liked the best. The one thing you really want to make sure you're telling people though, when they're trying our foundation, is that like, hold up girl, you don't need very much, right? Because it's never going to match if they got it on thick, like they would any other brand, right? So just tell them to just ease up on it. So, okay, so that's our C's. If they said they were a B, so they might get pink and then they turn into like a tan later, then they are a neutral, an N. I find lots of my people are neutrals. Lots, like probably 2/3 of my people are neutrals. And so if they're an Ivory, you basically have 2 more to choose from, Ivory N140, Ivory N160. If you take a look at them, you will see that one's a little more pink than the other. I don't know where mine went. So then you just pick one and have them try it. Like, quite honestly, guys, I myself use N140 and N160 and I'm good. Okay. Then if someone's like, so say they were an N140 before summer started and then they went and got some sun, and then what happens? Then what do you do? Well, then you look at your little book, your catalog. You go to the beige row and you look for the N's in beige. And you'll see there's a beige N150. So when they're needing to go up a shade, you don't go say Ivory N140 to Ivory W150, because then you're giving them a wrong undertone and they look like they got liver problems because they're yellow, right? Or they're not the right undertone, or they're pumpkin head, or they just look weird. And you don't want them to look weird because then you look bad. So you just go, so once you find their undertone, if they're a C, you just move up to the next number of C in the beiges, like if they were going that dark, Okay. So you don't switch to just a bigger number. You have to switch, staying in the same undertone family. Does that make sense? Okay. So generally my Ivory N140s and N160 girls go up to beige N150. So my summer color or my winter color is 140 N Ivory. And right now I'm wearing a beige N150. So I went up that level. Now our C answer is when they think sunny thoughts, they turn 2 shades darker. That is our W. That's our warm skin tone. Those are people just who you just look and you can just see the warmth in their skin. You just know that they're the girls on the beach after a day of being at the resort who look like they've been there for the month. So yeah, they just are warmer. And so again, you just take a look at the W. So you can usually tell when you look at them if they're quite fair, but still tan easy, they'd start in the ivories. Some might start in the beige and some might start in the bronze. You can kind of tell by looking, and it's just practice. And guys, if you don't get it right, that's okay. It's totally okay. You'll get it right. And that's why we have samples. And that's why we have the 100% satisfaction guarantee policy. Now, if that, okay, any questions on that? I'm going to just check here if any questions came up. Okay. If that's intimidating for you and you don't know, one of the little tricks that one of my consultants came up with quite a while ago is she bought, when we had the old foundation, she bought the samples of each of them. So rather than buying full-size tubes, she bought samples of each of them, and then she went to Michael's and got those little paint pots. You know, when you're a little kid and you got little paint pots and little brush and you paint? Well, she actually bought those, and she put one sample in of each color into the pots and labeled them. So when she was doing her parties live, like she could actually try that and then give them the sample that actually matched them without having to open up all the samples and waste. So you have that option. But if you're intimidated by all the colors with this, then use CC cream. That's my little trick. Because CC cream is foolproof, right? Like you can't really get it wrong. The only thing I find is maybe sometimes the very light is not light enough. So for some of our really, really pale girls. So then Ivory C100 or C110 is what I would give them. But the CC cream is the best. So just give them that, because it's only basically 3 colors for people like with lighter skin, and then we've got a couple of bronzes, right? So that's really easy if you want to really keep it easy. And just have people send pictures of you. And if you're not quite sure, if someone sends you a picture, and if you're going to ask them to send a picture of you, so I'll say, I'll ask them the questions, you know, A, B, or C, and they'll tell me, and I'll say, can you go into natural light and take a selfie and send it to me? And then they'll send me a selfie, and I can usually tell if they're ivory, beige, or bronze from that. And then I just give them either a couple of samples, I send them in the mail, or drop them off at their house, or give them full-size tubes. I haven't had any returns yet. And people really love our foundation. They really love our foundation. And guys, if you can get them to get a foundation brush, a liquid foundation brush, do it. So even if you, the first time you buy foundation, you get your foundation brush for half price, do it. Because it just makes them look so much more smooth and just flawless. And it makes you feel fancy because you have tools. So I like them. And then so trying, and I was like, I got to admit, I didn't start using brushes for foundation probably until 2 years ago. Because I always thought, oh no, I know, I'll just keep those on my shelf so that like I can sell them. I don't want to, use up all my profit. So I would be like, and then be like, how come my foundation doesn't look as good as the makeup I do for brides? Well, because you're not using the right tools, girl, duh. So I started using brushes and I love them. And now I sell more because I use them. Weird, right? Like it's a good investment, and it's an income tax write-off for you. All right. So that's my ditty on foundation matching. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay, so print off your flawless face conversion chart. you have all the colors you need in here, or you can check your chart to see the colors. Ask them their ABC questions and let them try. Guys, please don't try and be perfect. None of us are perfect. You're never going to get it 100% right all the time. People, they don't care. You know more than they do about our product. Guaranteed, you know more than they do. And so just get product on them. Give them some. If they don't like it, send it back as a return. Like, we have the best system because there's no risk for cost with us. Let them try what they like, they buy. Give them great service, do the follow-up, and make lots of money. And then you can have a new table like me. I'm so excited about my new table. Oh yes, and the Mirror Me app, right? The skincare apps are the Mirror Me app, or the Skin Analyzer app will also help you. Those are great tools too. That's what the company's backing us up. They're backing us up with technology that makes us look like so advanced. Can you imagine if like you or me had to put together the app for SkinSight? Like, it would never happen. I wouldn't like, right? It just wouldn't. I don't even hardly know how to turn my phone on some days, never mind make up an app. But the company's making it look like so easy. So it's easier to recruit people too, because they realize, oh, I don't have to know everything. I don't have to be a genius when it comes to all these things. The company provides it. All right. So July is an important month. First of all, there's earrings to be had. Did you see my eggs? They're called the sparkle ones. I don't even know what they're called, but they're nice. They have shiny on them. It's an important month because it's starting out our seminar year. And this one's different than any other because last month, or whatever we did last month, counts for this month. So that's pretty cool. We've already got wholesale in the bag for our rings, and we didn't even have to do anything. But you can really get yourself ahead of the game by having a stellar July. This year is different. People aren't going away the same. So you're going to be able to get people to do the virtual parties with you. People are going to need a break. They're not getting to go away. They're not getting to go for, some of them aren't getting to go for, girls' weekend with the friends, and they're home with their kids all the time and they want a break. None of that. So you're going to be able to get people, another thing. Sorry, I have to tell you this. I have fallen in love with the subtle tanning lotion. Because I forgot my lotion when we went to the lake, like my body lotion. So I had subtle tanner there, so I started using it. And it's so good. And I just look like sun-kissed, but I'm really not. It's just totally the subtle tanning lotion. And it's like really good. And it smells amazing. Sometimes I just have to smell my own arm because it's just smells so good. You got to watch where you do that, because if you're like, people think you're weird. But the subtle tanning lotion has been the best body lotion ever, and it's giving me like a really nice golden look without having the sun damage happen. So it's a limited edition product, and I ordered lots because I think it's my year-round lotion now. And so I might have stolen it all from you. So you might want to get on that if you're gonna want to try something like that you haven't really tried. Again, that was another product I'm like, I just want to save it on my shelf in case my customers want it because I can't get it year-round. Well, I'm selling a lot more now that I'm using it, and I can show them, like, look how cute I am. It's all the subtle tanning lotion's fault. All right. That's all I have for you, unless there are any questions. We're going to be doing beauty school every week this summer. And it's going to be just different things that we think you may need, little lessons you may need to learn. I know there's going to be a brow night. We've got a volunteer for that already, which I think is cool. Sometimes it's going to be product knowledge. Sometimes it's going to be tutorials. Sometimes it's going to be different things, but don't be afraid to do virtual parties. And if you have never done one before, this girl is challenging you. I will send it. Actually, if anybody who books and holds a skincare virtual something, whether it be on Zoom, whether it be Messenger, who books and holds it and lets me know, I'll send you a treat. Okay? Because guys, once you do it, especially if you've never done it yet, and you're making it to be way more than it is, you're gonna do it and be like, seriously? I was like nervous about that? Oh, right? So and it's a good booking thing. So this chick, this director from Saskatchewan has challenged me to do a virtual appointment, and I've never done one before. Can I borrow your face? And they'll be like, okay, what does that mean? Say, well, I'm going to give you some product and we're going to go on Zoom or whatever, and we're going to try it together. We can get ready for bed together. Would you do it? Well, sure. Okay. Like, do you want it to just be me and you, or do you have a couple friends you think that might want to try masks and stuff too? And she'll say, oh, well, probably my sister-in-law and probably like my bestie. Okay. So 3 sets. So should I drop off like products for 3 people? Yeah. Okay. So can we do it tomorrow night? And I'm like, oh yeah, awesome. Okay. I'll phone you right back. Done. We don't need as much notice. And you just say, it's only 45 minutes at the most with 3 of you. And so, yeah. So anybody who's going to make me send you a treat? Frida, put your hand up. I can see you. Oh, Robin's saying me. Okay. Claire? Oh, come on. Who else is?
I can't.
Patricia's doing it. Are you all alone at the lake? Just you and the fishes? It's just you and the fishes?
I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. Can I do it?
Just you and the fish. Just what, you and the fish.
Okay, I can do the fish.
No, but is there anybody, like no other people? Just you and fish? That's all? No people?
Me and Lyle. Just the 2 of us.
Do you have service there?
If I'm in the middle of the lake, I do.
Oh, right. Okay. When you get back, do one. Okay.
Okay. When I get back.
Seriously, you won't be sad you did this, and I have good treats.
I know you do.
I will give you good treats, and you'll be so happy, and it's gonna break your brain because you're gonna be like, oh, that's not near as bad as I was making it out to be. I should have done this in March, and I would be like in a pink Cadillac. Well, maybe not quite, but you'd be like well on your way, right? So okay. I'm challenging you.
Can I do it with one of my consultants? A new consultant. She's never tried that. She's never tried product. Yeah. So she should have received her kit or her starter, whatever. I should be able to do that with her, right?
Practice on whoever, especially if they haven't tried product before. Yeah.
Okay.
Sign them, like get them to do that. All right. Go make some money, ladies, and have a fabulous night. And thank you for joining us. And we believe in you. And I hope that we get to see most of you at seminar.
Thank you, Angie.
Angie, can you quickly show the pockets again one last time?
Oh, what do I put in my
Just
roll
super
up?
fast. Yeah.
On the top one of this one, I have my Skin Sonic just because I show them, but I don't actually give those out. I got my eye makeup remover up there. In this one, I have Miracle Set. In this one, I have the masks and the brush so that I do the moisture renewing gel mask, charcoal mask, and the silicone masking brush. And sometimes I'll put a sample of micro in there. And then the bottom is satin hands, satin lips. And then Panorama, because I'm in love. I don't know if I told you guys this yet or not, but I love Panorama mascara. That was the funniest thing. I did that video and it's like, I have to admit, you know, I've cheated and all this stuff. And I was talking about Panorama mascara versus Lash Intensity, and people like before they knew I was talking about mascara, they're like, why are you saying this on Facebook? I was like, you guys, seriously, it's fun. But that was funny because some of you like, don't break up with Chad, he's so awesome. All right, that's all I got for you. Enough of the silliness. I hope you have a fantastic night and take care all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.